What's up, you guys? Mo Awesome from Awesome MTB. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a different day. We got some gravel bikes here. We haven't done much gravel bike content on this channel, but we actually ride a ton of gravel. This right here is a bike that we've had for a while. We've been super stoked on it. It's the Propain Terrel, and as you guys can tell, super sleek frame. It's actually a raw carbon finish, and we got some custom decals on there. Once again, super clean looking gravel rig from Propain Bicycles. This build is super cool because I actually have SRAM Force on here, and then I got some carbon wheels. These are DT Swiss GRC 1400 carbon wheels. I absolutely love this bike. And I actually think the Propain Terrel is a very slept on gravel bike. It's a very affordable price point. And the cool thing with their website as well, when you go onto the website, you can actually design the bikes a couple of different ways. You can choose your decals, builds, very customizable option from them. Now this is Hannah's build right here. And I actually think hers came out a little sicker than mine. We got the same exact builds, but she ended up going with these oil slick decals. It looks so clean on there, and she also has an oil slick head badge up front. I don't know, Hannah, I think yours might look better than mine.
I think it does too. To be fair, we both wanted the holographic decals, but we decided that we didn't want to be too matchy-matchy, so I stole them and Mo got white.
I do want to show you guys a quick feature of this thing. So we actually do have internal frame storage with the Terrel. So just right here, you just push this little latch right here, take this off, and you have internal frame storage. And I got some tools and whatnot. It comes with these cool bags. I got one right here, and I got another one right here that I'll take out for you. We have tools, we have a CO2 cartridge, but yeah, I actually think I prefer internal frame storage on gravel bikes as opposed to mountain bikes. For whatever reason, on the mountain bikes, I just don't get along with internal frame storage. I like it on my gravel rigs though, but yeah, let's go for a ride, show you guys how the Propain Terrel does, and also show you guys why gravel riding is so sick. So this is the van, this is the parking lot, and we're gonna head out on trails. I'm actually gonna Strava this, loop it from here. This is the only section of road that we're gonna do, is basically to go across the street. And this I feel a little bit sketched out about. Right over here. That's it. That is all of the road riding we're gonna do. Cool thing is we're gonna stick on this bike path till we get to the trails. Like I said, the cool thing with these gravel bikes, they really allow you to expand your route. And you guys are gonna see today, it's gonna be a pretty cool route that not many people do. In terms of riding on the road, the Terrel is actually very comfortable. And that was something that I was a little concerned about because Propain, definitely a little bit more of a gravity oriented brand. And I was wondering what their take on a gravel bike would be, but it actually does really well on the road. I don't feel like the head angle is too slack. I feel like it's very comfortable, and the frame itself is actually pretty stiff, which translates to a little bit more power transfer on the road riding. Hannah's putting the pace down. Here we go. This is gonna be our turn off, Bomber Canyon. Fun fact, this is actually where I learned how to mountain bike. This is some of my first mountain bike rides ever. And I was so bad, and I thought this climb was the hardest climb in the world. I had to walk it, almost vomited. And I wondered to myself, how do you ride up it, let alone bomb down it? Remember, this little bridge right here, this step down was so fun for me. And I would treat it like a huge jump on my enduro bikes. Now I'm riding on a gravel bike. The Terrel, very stable off-road. As you guys can see, I got a little bit of air back there. I'm not the best at getting air, but such a good, stable feel off-road. I'm happy that Hannah is leading the way because it is rattlesnake season. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. All right, so this is Bomber Pass. We have a couple of really good switchbacks over here, and this is really fun single track, actually going both ways, whether you're on a mountain or a gravel bike. So much good single track back here that doesn't get much traffic. So this is a size large. I'm 6'2". I tend to size down on gravel and road. And I would actually say this still feels fairly roomy in comparison to some other gravel bikes I've tried. You can definitely tell they want that stability to come from the reach. And you have very comfortable front end of the bike on these switchbacks, which is pretty rad. You guys can see that big fire road in the background. That's Bomber Fire Road. We're gonna be making our way up that, but first these little downhill switchbacks. The dropper post would work nice on here. We don't run dropper posts on the gravel rigs just to save some weight. And then on top of it, just kind of one more thing that could go wrong. However, I could definitely see them being useful. Make our way to Bomber Fire Road. We have a little bit of a steep climb now up to the Ridge Park essentially. And I will say, when I rode this, when I was first getting into mountain biking, Bomber Canyon, I almost vomited my first time up this. It was so bad. Crazy how time changed, especially if you dedicate yourself to a sport. Still getting the workout you would get on a road climb, but there's just no cars around you and so much safer. And also, it's not to say that we've given up on road cycling. Like I said, in Asia, we love road biking. We spend a lot of months there throughout the year. And actually, I think the reason for that is in Asia, it actually feels safe because I think they have scooters. A lot of people ride scooters out there, especially in Thailand. So they're always zipping around traffic, so cars know to be on the lookout for those scooters so they can identify cyclists as well. They're keeping an eye out. And yeah, I feel like that helps the safety, and overall, it just feels like they're a little bit more polite towards cyclists on the road. Here in Southern California, it's almost as if drivers don't want bikes on the road, which is very disheartening. But at the end of the day, as much as I don't want to give up the road, I'm also not going to play that game with cars, one car versus me. I mean, that's kind of life-changing. And I think that's also what makes gravel riding so appealing to so many cyclists out there, is it gets you off the road, but you can still get that workout in. And I do think until there's more laws or they make the crimes more serious for hitting cyclists, because man, way too often you hear about people getting hit by a car on the road and the driver gets like 2 years in jail, which is insane to me. I know I'm preaching to a choir. This is a cycling channel. Most of you guys are probably cyclists. I'd actually say Portland, Oregon, probably one of the most bike-friendly cities. When we were there, it felt like all the cars were like, yeah, you guys have the priority on the road. We don't want to hit you, and they were very concerned for our safety. That was very interesting. So yeah, it is definitely where you are in the US, but I do think Southern California, especially for whatever reason, the driver is so bad here. Almost at the top, you'll get to this freeway underpass. This kind of lets you know you're at the about 85% mark. The steepest part is right here though, but that's Ridge Park right there, so top of Ridge Park.
Super cool how everything will connect to each other.
Yeah, and that's actually one thing I enjoyed about going to UCI, is I could basically go out the front door back when I was at UCI. A million years ago. I'm old now. Just basically hop into here, then you're hop to the top of Ridge Park. All of a sudden you're in Laguna Coast Wilderness Park, and then you can just cross the street to Aliso, which is super cool. Really cool aspect of these gravel bikes. Like I said, the routes you can connect are pretty insane. Such a good looking bike, and look at the views it takes you to. Man, I love it up here. This is basically how you go into Laguna Coast Wilderness Park from the Crystal Cove side. So this is kind of where everyone starts their mountain bike ride. Be a little bit careful on this ridge. There's a lot of ruts out here. It's super stable on the Terrel. Oh, nice. Now we're on Lizard's Trail. Now this is a mountain bike trail that I find it really fun on gravel rigs. Coming through. Oh, nice, Hannah. It's actually Hannah's first time on Lizards on a gravel bike. Okay. Yeah, that dropper post would be kind of nice right about now. And this actually gets a little bit steep and sketchy on the gravel rig. I will say that. We're gonna try and be careful and look up as best as we can. Nice. Oh man, no issues for the Terrel. Once again, I do wish I had a dropper on here, but very capable descender. Crazy what you can do with no suspension. This is how mountain biking started. No suspension, fully rigid bikes. Some more down here. Man, this thing has gotten kind of sketchy, but we're doing a Terrel. Oh my God, Terrel. What a freaking stable frame. Pretty cool, even with how beat up it is. Oh, just stay off the front brake, right? I'd say the Terrel actually has a pretty good carbon construction. Like I said, definitely a little on the stiffer profile wise, but very good vibration dampening coming from the frame, which is pretty epic. Cyclocross action. Not as smooth as Vanderpool. The cool thing when you're hiking with a gravel bike, a lot lighter than with a mountain bike. Hopping out of Blizzard, you're gonna make a left right here, and then we're basically gonna take this fire road to almost where we started off from, but it's gonna turn to single track at the end, which is pretty rad.
Everything but that Lizard's downhill sounds good to me.
The Lizard downhill is techy, you can't avoid it, but I like it for whatever reason. It adds a little bit of spice to the ride. So if you've ever ridden Laguna, you know that over there, you can actually see it from here, is Aliso. And over here is Laguna Wilderness Coast Park. You basically will take this to get the stagecoach. We're gonna stay on the ridge and go all the way back to Irvine Ranch Conservancy. Be careful on this section because there's a ton of ruts. No cars around. Aliso is over there. I don't know if you guys can see. The 133 is in there, Aliso's on the other side, and we just have miles of open space. And I have spent so many hours escaping the city into here, because when you get out here, it feels like you're all by yourself. It's definitely snake season, guys. No, it's not a rattler. Look how pretty it looks. We're still making our way. Nice. Fire road greater than actual road. It is Mustard Central out here, but as I mentioned, we're back in the Irvine Ranch Conservancy side. So I think in total, we went through 3 different trail networks. We had the Crystal Cove, Irvine Ranch Conservancy, and then we also had Laguna Coast Wilderness Park. Interesting thing is this section back here probably gets the least use. I feel like I rarely run into, especially cyclists out here. This is the single track section. A lot of good switchbacks back here. Oh, you know what? I think a lot of that mustard has been trimmed. Oh no, I don't think so. I'm seeing it up there. We're about to see. Oh yeah, they definitely trimmed the mustard recently. I can see remnants of it. Once again, I think mustard is invasive to Southern California. Getting pretty close to quail. Oh yeah, it is bumpy. I will say it's always gonna be more comfortable on a mountain bike, but crazy what you can go down on a gravel bike. Just like that, we are back. Like I said, all of that was connected via dirt. We'll link this in the description. Great gravel bike, especially if you're a mountain biker, and there's some awesome deals on this thing. Looks like 13 miles, 2,000 feet of climbing. Solid day on the gravel bike.